killing people
Also,
and getting in chases.
It
builds
really
up.
helps with like you know, I'll get the nines and be in prison for a week on mic, and it's just like, well,
Yeah,
I have
whatever.
5 other characters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
with,
It
like,
helps
to deal
that
with
a
like
lot.
downtime and like
Yes,
just look at things less like take it less to heart almost like if something happened.
Hey, listen, I would love to fucking when Charles goes to
Aren't you
prison
making
for
a cop?
400 months to have a fucking
We
cop
want a
character.
cop
I
character.
just
We were
don't
told.
want him to- I just
Yeah.
want him to invest into another Civ, and because it's like I think of it as like I'd rather invest this time on someone that I've
Agreed.
spent so much time on, that I've created all these friendships on, and I feel like I'd have to recreate that on a Civ. I'd rather recreate a different perspective and a different
Right.
a completely different relationship with the same people from a different like a cop characters. I don't know.
And
I
again,
want
this
cop to
brings
be
back
more
the
fun.
premise. This brings back the premise. Is I personally, and I used to hate when people use this term, but you know, now I'm going to use it because I've been around longer. I personally think that if someone has been in the server for 2-3 years and they have seen everything that you could possibly see on a criminal character and they want to be a police officer, I don't think that they should have to go through the things like the 6-8 month DOC process. If they've been around, dude, and I was talking about this earlier, Penta. I was DOC for 6 months, and I was told I couldn't be a cop because I did ass meth in the fucking shower with Bovice.
You know, I would rather it be a situation where we pooled our potential cadets from, you know, you just go to the PD and apply, but something like no non-violent crimes. Something like that. Or just like,
that'd be
like,
so good.
That'd be so much better. That because like here's the thing. RP character cops are always way better than SOP anti-robots. They're always way better, dude.
Always. And then if you're coming from someone,
not copying a character.
And if you're coming
really
from someone who is
lucky to be able to RP my way into the PD, and that entire experience was, I think, not just for myself, but for those in the PD really enjoyed it, and I think other people should be given a similar.
I am hanging on to the hope that that becomes the norm. I am clinging to the fucking hope with how well 3.0 has gone and how all the new cops are doing and how they're all doing so fucking well. I'm clinging to the hope that that becomes the norm.
The issue, though, if a character comes into their interview already having a background that was established on the server, like what their previous
and my
job
biggest
was,
thing is
their friendships, and then they become a cop. All of a sudden, that entire experience and that perspective that they bring to the force,
I remember with
is so fresh.
With Jordan, you know, whatever, but balancing the PD between like the family RP I was doing was so fucking funny, dude. It was just the best, man.
Well,
and then having those vendettas from the toe days. It's
the
just
thing
good. It's just
that
good RP.
I feel like what people who has been around the block like myself, like Summit, like the thing that we aren't. I feel like a lot of people who are, you know, and this isn't a shot at anybody, but people who haven't done like Crim RP, like high Crim RP, and don't understand like the intricates of being able to like talk to people on like everybody from fucking the RP. I don't know what term you want to use with like the back in the day with like HOA or up north with the bikers to fucking ESB role play where it was gunning, shooty, right? Like, I feel like when you bring someone in who hasn't been able to experience that, and then they run into people like that, they don't know what the fuck to do. And that's whenever awkward situations happen. But then you have people who want to be a cop and were waiting to be a cop. And it's like, well, you got to go through a 6-month process of waiting and fucking doing absolute dick. And then you can come and join.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Dude, I'd have a fake fucking gun and not move from the passenger seat for 6 months in a cop car.
I think I think we should fast track people who are established in the server and that have proven that they can role play. But unfortunately, whenever we do fast track people, it usually goes towards who has views, right? Which has been good for 3.0 because viewer perspective on cop RP was desperately needed bad. So I think that it was fine.
S-Man going to a cop was so good.
It was so good for the
PM. I agree.
So I think it's I think that kind of shit's fine because fuck it, man. More views on cop RP, yeah, I love that. But also, you know, the little guys who are trying to get into the police force that have been RPing on the server for 2-3 years, they shouldn't be overlooked. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
and I think that's fair.
I feel like everyone wants more cops, right? And we're just trying to figure out ways to do it. I just don't know what the logistics look like on the back end.
You
So I
also
just
don't
have no
want a
idea how
bunch
to.
of cops that don't know what they're doing, right?
That's what I said. Quality over quantity.
So, Shift 3 needs more cops.
I could give you 20
It has
plus
for
links.
years.
I could give you 20 plus links of just entire things, like 14 pages full of text, different information, or even spreadsheets that have at least 10 different tabs about information that we keep on, like everybody that's been trained, hired, procedure, this, that, and the other. There's so much shit that happens on the back end. It's difficult to like expedite shit very quickly. I mean, we're getting better at it, but it has been. I will say the the hoops that we have to jump through is pretty extensive.
If you're saying quality over quantity, the easiest way to get quality and the quickest way that you're going to get training are people that have been either
I agree.
on the other end getting shit on.
Yeah, they're veterans, right?
They've just been around forever.
And
just general RP experience. Yeah, I agree.
And
Absolutely.
you're talking about
Better than
people.
criminals who know when they get shot, they're supposed to get shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I wonder, because like maybe this is like too head for me to think, but when you have an RPer that's been on NoPixel and is respected and very fucking talented for so long, and they're trying to RP a cop and they get denied, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why would you not want a really good RPer as a cop?
If Spaceboy came to me and said,
why'd they get denied?
That should be an instant like,
yeah,
let's get you.
That's so funny. I'm gonna actually just gonna go ahead and say this. So whenever I was messaging Jared and we were talking about it, and the moment I said that Spaceboy wasn't invited to the PD on that weekend, the first thing that Jared said was, "We're not going. If Spaceboy isn't getting invited, we're not going to go either."
Yeah, that's what I gave up once I realized Spaceboy was like, because I realized that's when I finally put 2 and 2 put together for us. I was like, that's why Spaceboy's been on this character. We've seen him around the apartment so often. It's because that's what he's been working on. It
blows my mind. You have to work so hard for it. When we know that you do a fucking dope job
on Mel, yeah.
I went off in DMs. I went off. I was pissed. I was really fucking pissed.
Right I know Bobby a cop too. He's kind of the same.
I was very upset.
Bobby is so underrated and should easily have a cop.
The whole reason that the restructure happened is to make things more effective and to kind of like just spread things out and delegate stuff. And the way that the Angel and Toretti have been doing it is making it so academies are going
here.
to
I can actually get her in here.
I like the current system.
Let me get her in here.
The old system, like back when I was doing DOC, like, I mean, I was the first Civ DOC. You know,
you were.
And I like the current system.
You were captain for
the new current system.
I like the system. Yeah. Like right now,
the interview for hire is
the only issue that's even happening right now for me is like the lack of FTOs. Like I do think the old system, I'm just gonna say I think it was broken. I think a lot of people paid dues and just there was no way for people to notice that they were paying their dues. I think there's a lot of people who, fell into that where they were putting in hundreds of hours and it was in AU when there were 2 cops online. I was one of those people.
The beautiful thing is that we have Kylie in here now, so she can kind of explain how it all works.
What I was going to say is the new system, we're now like...
No, I'm gonna dip out, guys. The server.
All right, peace, brother.
I haven't even gotten an interview yet, but I'm signed off on ride-alongs. So that is amazing progress. That is such fucking amazing progress, and I've been playing Pad again for like 2 weeks. So in those 2 weeks, I've made that progress. And the only reason that progress is slightly halted is there's just not enough FTOs to take me on ride-alongs. If there were, I mean, I'm fucking set, dude. I'll go do ride-alongs. That shit's so fun. Ride-alongs were so fun at the end.
So cool. The new process.
I do too. I like the new process. If we were having this conversation 6 months ago, I would have left the call.
All right, go ahead, Kylie.
All right. So I just want to say I've been listening for like the last 10 minutes. Everything you guys say that you wish was the case is already the case. We already look for good role players and we already prioritize good role players and skip over action-oriented people. And it's... I just wish more people understood the process.
Well, again, it's one of those things. We said it before. You weren't watching whenever we stated it very early that everyone here respects all of the shit you guys do on the back end.
This whole conversation is all love.
Comprehend the amount of fucking bullshit that you guys have to do and the amount of actual paperwork that you guys have to do on the back end. And we do respect a lot of that. We're just we're spitballing ideas and talking about things that we hope to be a thing that none of us know that are actually a thing. So that's why I'm looking forward to hear what actually is going on.
Okay. Well, Toretti and I spent like 16 hours a day for getting this process set up. You know, you probably guys didn't see it because it was like the very beginning of 3.0, but we worked as hard as we could to get all this documentation and stuff ready. And the idea behind the process is supposed to be very simple. But unfortunately, we're just constrained by we don't have enough good cops on the server to actually take ride-alongs out, and also FTO cadets, and also not get burnt out at the same time. Like your FTOs are trusted people, right? And, and you need someone that actually knows what they're doing and can evaluate and watch someone and keep them in line and not let them do crazy things. And there's just, to be quite blunt, there's just not that many people that can do that at the moment. And
burnout's real too. You're right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Straight up, one of the only reasons that I'm playing Pat again and actually confident enough to pursue cop again is because I've talked to Kylie, I've talked to Toretti, I've talked to Coyle, I've talked to Andrews, and more or less what I've been told repeatedly is like, yo, there's a new system, man, and it's working in front of your eyes. You're seeing the, you know, S-Fan gets fast tracked, comes in with a character, gets, you know, moved along. Moon comes in with a character, fast tracked, moved along. Some of the dispatch guys are getting pushed in, you know what I mean? So like I think we're at like the foundation of the new system, and I'm hopeful for it.
What are you trying to say, Jared?
I mean, which cops? I can think of just a handful of cops just off the top of my head that are more than capable of handling FTO ride-alongs.
Can you give me a name who you think would be good for it?
Timac.
He's already a probationary FTO.
I'm on my way. Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
I'm already working him in.
Foundation.
The thing is, we're at the very start.
A regular cop and an FTO too, right?
Right. Well, the thing is, we're at the very start of this new process. Initially, in FTOs in 2.0, what would happen is you would get a promoter to senior officer in FTO, and then people would just not take cadets. If you could see the roster from 2.0 reset, it was literally like 20 senior officers with like 2 regular officers, and they would actually never take any cadets. So you need to actually like make sure they're doing their job, right? And we're working these people in. We're bringing people in. Like I have a couple more names on my list for NA. I don't want to say it here because then they're gonna hear
obviously
it. It's gonna spoil it. But I have a couple more names I'm gonna go speaking with in every single time zone. And it's just because things are happening immediately. The people are getting all antsy, right?
It's a giant machine that is now literally bigger than ever.
Would it be easier if there's more FTOs?
For sure.
What?
Because I feel like I don't know anything. I'm just here to ask you guys questions because I don't understand the back end for police work at all. I understand how vital it is. Obviously, that's why we're talking about it. But I feel like everything I've heard from other people is that there's a lack of FTOs, like enough FTOs.
Yeah, so initially when 3.0 happened, every single FTO was demoted to regular officer because, you know, if criminals are getting reset, then PD should get a relative reset as well, right? So basically everyone was reset except for previous command. And we've been bringing FTOs back in based off people who have been showing interest in actually being active and on the server and doing their job. So there is actually a shortage of FTOs, but that is slowly being worked on and fixed as time progresses, right?
And like a lot of FTOs are also competent people that would be competent FTOs and officers are also meaning they're criminals, right?
With the new system, and that I'm sorry, I know Kyla would be explain this a little bit better, but from my end, from what I've been told, is like the people who are becoming FTOs, we're trying to like make sure that everybody's training the same thing because we've had, you know, criminals or just anybody, several people in the past, even cadets say, well, you know, this person trained me this way when somebody else does it this way, etc. We're trying to keep it relatively uniform, so it's not like, you know, all over the place where, you know, everybody's policing a different way, or like, I don't know, somebody's fucking around whereas, you know, somebody else is like, I don't know, taking it like way too hard. I don't know. It just that's usually how it's going. So we're trying to keep FTOs like on a uniform thing rather than like you know, all over the place.
Well, yeah. I also think mistakes make good RP too, so being completely perfect isn't always good either.
Yeah.
They do, but the issue is
You gotta have most of it together though.
We're trying to redo PD in 3.0, right? Like there's like an overall tone shift that we're going for, and that comes along with it, a tone shift with training. And I know people might disagree with that, but that's just the marching orders that I've been handed, and I'm going along with it. There's a tone shift that's been requested, and we're trying to provide that tone shift.
At the end of the
day,
day,
why we're taking it more seriously.
Yeah, at the end of the day, everyone here is being told something to do in some regard. You know what I mean? Everyone here is I don't know if constricted would be the right word, but they're kind of being guided in the way that the things are supposed to happen. Am I going outside of my bounds saying that, or is that kind of what's going on?
I mean, no, I think that makes sense because overall we want the server to be a bit more serious and immersive place. I think that's pretty obviously what's we've been going for, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean there can't be like fun, dumb things that happen. It's just it's new territory, you know.
I think so I was done with Pat. I was so fed up with trying, and then Seer was just like, you should try to be a cop. I'm like, I don't know what it is, man. I don't think they want me. Like, I don't know what the fuck I have to do. And then I brought him back, and then I got a little pep talks. And the pep talk was the same from everybody. We have a totally new system, and it's going to be better. And that's the pep talk. That's the talk I got from Kylie, Mantis, Coil, Andrews, and I'm seeing it. You know, it's getting started.
Well, let's get Kylie off the hide seat. I want to hear from Iceman. What the fuck happened with him today?
Was he in the call right now?
Oh, yeah. He's been here for a while.
Okay.
Speak, my man.
What are you looking to know?
What the fuck happened? I just want to know what, like, so you obviously everything, you were in the server, you were on PD, and I want to just what the clip that was clipped out of complete context, that there's 37 different things that was said about what happened at the hospital.
Okay, the hospital incident. Essentially, I guess people had the assumption that I was pissed off at the Crims in that situation, but frankly, it was the cops. Yeah. I think the cops dropped the ball big time there. Soft cuffing, uncuffing, cops running around, running people over, running amok, not doing what they're supposed to do. And I guess it was a rough morning for me too. Yeah. So they had plenty of cops there. Should I have bounced out the way I did? No, but I did, and instead of kind of getting annoyed in the situation, I removed myself from it.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, I mean, maybe in going about it in that way isn't necessarily great, but removing yourself from the situation is sometimes the better option.
Absolutely.
Because I think, you know, a lot of people, you know, we talk about like, you know, keeping an overall like positive vibe or like, you know, brushing it off, but I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't like to, you know, try and ride a moral high road. Like everybody gets upset about, you know, things regardless of, you know, who you are, what, you know, the tolerance level that you have for whatever's going on. Everybody gets, you know, everybody catches a little bit of anger.